All right, let's dive into a pretty wild cosmic story. It's all about power, free will, and what happens when the person in charge, well, let's just say they decide to take a really, really long nap.
It all kicks off with this simple but kind of terrifying question. What if the grand architect of everything just hit the snooze button one too many times? And we're not talking about sleeping in on a Saturday here. We are talking about a 2,000-year power nap. Just think about that. That's long enough to miss, well, pretty much everything, including a complete system meltdown.
So when the Creator finally wakes up, his first words aren't some big divine proclamation. Nope, it's a groggy, totally relatable question. He was expecting heaven to be this booming cosmic party, but instead, crickets. The place was totally empty.
So let's really set the scene for this rude awakening and look at the first clues that the whole divine plan had gone completely off the rails.
The chief angel, who looks absolutely exhausted, just points to the horizon. And you see these massive snow-capped peaks? Well, that's not a new mountain range. Those are stacks upon stacks of unanswered prayer letters, a 2-millennial-long inbox of humanity's problems, and every single one is marked unread.
And this, right here, gets us to the heart of the problem. The gift of free will. It was supposed to be this amazing tool for creation and growth, but instead it produced, well, a total fiasco.
Okay, now look at this. The gap between the plan and the reality is just staggering. The plan was so simple. One little devil, basically a spiritual personal trainer, to poke people into action. But here's the kicker. That tempter used his free will to create an entire army of them, and now they actually outnumber the angels. And the Creator's children, gifted with these amazing creative powers, and what did they do? They built weapons that could end the world.
And this just perfectly captures the Creator's vibe, right? It's pure frustration. This wasn't just some spiritual oopsie. It was a total security breach. It's like he gave everyone admin privileges and they immediately downloaded a virus.
And the data here just paints a really grim picture. Only 10% of souls, the aspirants, are actually using their free will the way it was intended. The rest? You've got the believers who are just waiting for a handout, the dissolvers who think it's all pointless anyway, and a group the story calls socialists, who basically feel entitled to enlightenment without doing any of the work. The bottom line is, the system is failing almost everybody.
So, with the Creator basically missing in action and the whole system on the brink of collapse, somebody had to step up, and that leads us to a pretty unexpected solution.
See, there were these 7 spiritual masters, the lords, and they just got tired of being glorified receptionists for a boss who was asleep. They saw those mountains of prayer letters and realized, hey, we have free will too. We have the power to start answering these ourselves.
And this wasn't some kind of cosmic coup. As the chief angel explains it, it was an evolution. They were made in the Creator's image, right? So they decided to start acting like it. They claimed their birthright to be partners in creation, not just glorified messengers.
So what does a team of proactive spiritual masters do when the universe is in crisis? They don't just patch up holes. They build a whole new system. They start a school.
And this is the core of their new plan, Soul School. You can think of it as a cosmic university, a training ground designed to teach souls everything they were supposed to learn from the start. How to use their power wisely and, crucially, how to defend themselves against all those tempters.
Now, a really key concept in this school is the spiritual bank account. Every single soul has one. Every time you make a wise choice or do a good deed, you're making a deposit, and that energy grows. But every foolish or selfish choice, that's a withdrawal, and you can absolutely go spiritually bankrupt. It's a system based purely on merit.
The curriculum itself is crystal clear. Step 1, you study the laws of the universe. Step 2, you build up that spiritual bank account. Step 3, you face tests. And if you pass, step 4, you graduate and get to help teach the next generation. It's a path from student all the way to master.
And here is the most brilliant, mind-bending part of the whole thing. The tempters aren't just an obstacle. They're a feature of the curriculum. They are the exam proctors. Their temptations are the final exams that force you to prove you've actually learned the lessons, not just memorized the textbook. This is where that tension between your free will and their opposition becomes the very engine for your growth. It's genius, really.
So, with this incredible new school in session, with a clear path to self-mastery all laid out, how did humanity respond? Well, the answer is the final and maybe most important takeaway from this whole story.
Yep. Despite the school being open for business, the majority of people have decided on a different strategy. Do absolutely nothing. They're basically waiting for a sequel. They're hoping a savior will come back and clean up the mess they helped make, treating their own spiritual journey like it's a movie they're just watching.
And that leaves us with the ultimate question, not just for the souls in this story, but for every one of us. In this grand school of life, what's your role? Are you enrolling as a student, ready to do the work? Are you just a spectator, content to watch from the sidelines? Or are you still waiting for somebody else to come and be the savior? The choice, as it turns out, has always been ours to make.